Right, we should be going live in a minute. I apologise for the sound of this live stream. The rain is doing a number tonight and not a lot I'm going to be able to do about it if I'm on it. So hang on, let's bring up the video capture. Gamlink, come on. That is what I want. Okay, why is that not working? Kill this image. Nope. What's going on here? Give me 5 minutes, guys. Trying something completely new today. Hang on, I'll get to that in a minute, Callum. Let me sort the stream out first, mate. Nope, that's not the one I wanted. There we go. Kill that image. Move. Yes. Here we go, and let's get on with this. So, yeah. Everything right now is a little bit screwed. Let me just make sure this is watching me. Just make sure this is up and about. Like I said, I apologise for the sound. So there's not a lot I can do about it. If I just shut up a minute. That is just the rain. It is relentless. And if I'm honest with you, I don't trust this roof at all. I think I've got about 2 or 3 leaks that I've found in the last couple of days, which isn't great. So I will have to do something about that. Good, as long as it don't leak where I am here, I'm not bothered. If it leaks where I am here, the live stream will definitely get cut short very, very quickly. Right, let's put that there, let's look at the right one. So, after me yesterday turning around and saying mid-table wouldn't be a bad finish for some Wednesday fans, after today's news, that actually might not be a bad idea at all, considering. I know we still got to have a hearing to see if we're guilty, but the charge does. And if they're charging us, they've got to have some sort of evidence for it. And to be honest with you, I'm starting to feel like we could get a point deduction and a fine and be shown a little bit more of an example than we were, say, Birmingham were. We not only broke the rules a little bit, we tried to then bend them a little bit. Yeah, you're right with saying about other teams getting away with it and nothing happening, but they're not going to investigate Villa due to them being in the Premiership now. Ain't going to happen. Everything is really bad. You need to sort out a new financial person. Let's have a look. Show it. Evening guys, evening Jake, what a load of bullshit the EFL are. Every time we think we're free, they come back to charge us with something else. Yeah, to be fair, it's getting to the point where the EFL do not want us to do well at all. I'm starting to get more and more pissed off with... Why can't I see my live chat there? Okay, that's weird. Live chat not working on there, but it's working there, so I'll have to read it off here. Yeah, it's getting more and more frustrating, and Chansiri must be thinking, why the hell did I buy a football club when I can't spend the money? I agree with Nixon, the journalist who worked for the Mirror, I believe it is, who said he hates the EFL system, the financial fair play system, just because of owners can't spend what they want, the hand drum. So, if this is the case, why have we not got something like this in the Premiership to stop club spending what they want? Why is the only a wage structure lose as much money in the Championship, League 1 and League 2. It's like they want clubs to go out of business. It's like they want more and more clubs not to get that opportunity to get in business and stay in business. And it's getting ridiculous now. I'm really starting to hate what the EFL has become and how it's... How do I get this to bloody work again? If anyone's done lives before, let me know, because I can't see my chat on there. So yeah, everything's a little bit, another word, fucked. To be fair, I shouldn't really say those words, but it doesn't really matter for me on this YouTube channel because I don't get monetization. And if people don't watch, it don't get put. So you have to be careful these days, but at the same time, it's free speech. But the EFL has massively done us up the wrong one. And they've just gone to the point that you try and do what they want. You think you've done everything right. You find a loophole in their system. You exploit said loophole. Other clubs exploit said loophole. Yet we're done for it. It sounds like it's actually sounding more like that. The loophole we've done, we just haven't put the right financial date in when we've actually put it in. But it's getting to a point where it's getting silly now. It is really getting to a point where you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. We could have it where we don't spend any money. We sell all our big earners. We don't spend any money. We play under 23s, and then they'll have something that says like, oh, sorry, you need to have some more players in this team who are over the age of 23. So you need to go get a 25-year-old, a 26-year-old, a 27-year-old. They don't like us. They have made it very clear they do not like us. We are not a like club. I think Chancery will sort it out, to be fair. So, yeah, if people are not aware, the reason why the sale, why it's been looked into and why we're being investigated and being charged now, is because the sale was this year, but it shows on last year's accounts, and it's basically, it looks, let's be honest, it looks dodgy. And it sounds more like we've been caught fiddling the books and we've been caught on it. And that's the gist of it. And I got this whole thing as going, if we have done that, yeah, we should be punished. And because that's not on, it's not allowed. But at the same time, why are not other clubs getting punished for similar situations? Is Hillsborough worth 60 million? No. Is it worth 20, 40 million? Possibly. And I say this because you look at where it is. The only bit of that club which you could think is valuable, and I really don't think it is considering where it's built over the river. If you actually took the bit from people would not want to build on it because if you had this much rain like we've got at the minute, it floods. And the problem is, the EFL actually signed off on our accounts. That's what I don't get. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that it said the EFL has signed off on the accounts and they're happy with it. If that was the case, why did they say we were able to get out of an embargo? At the rate it stands, we are going to have, I reckon we're going to have either a 9 or 12 point penalty deduction. So we will go from where we are now to where Huddersfield are. If we keep going how we're going, we'll end up with 59 points and in about 15th place. I said at the start of the season, when we were getting everything sorted, hours in the park, all that kind of stuff, I said at the start of the season we needed a quick start and win as many games as possible because I thought we were going to get in trouble. And my problem is, I don't like that I was right. I really don't like that I got this bang on, and that personally pisses me off because I was right on this one, because it's just a joke. It's an absolute joke with it, and to be fair, if we get deduction, we can forget playoff, we can forget trying to fight. If we get point deductions, as you said, DJ, our season's done. There's no way we'll be able to get up from it. Even if they didn't take the points now, and say we got into the playoffs or something, and say we won that playoff, they can, in theory, stop us from going up. They can, in theory, then take the points. Say we got playoff last game of the season, they could go, oh, by the way, you broke the rules, so we're taking those 12 to 9 points off you. And that could put us banging, like, say, a relegation, in the relegation, though, depending on where that leads us. The big one is, if you look at the laws, it's fine, it's penalty deduction, and the extreme case is kicked out of the league. I don't see the last one happening. God, I hope not. Because if that happens, you do not want to give Sheffield United fans even more reason to go, oh, look at you. At the rate it stands, and it's going to sound really bad, you're going to see Sheffield United playing Champions League football, then you are going to see us in the Premiership before things happen. And it's the club have fucked up by not letting anyone know what's going on. We got told this was all sorted. I would like to know who oh bloody hell. I'd like to know when they got given these point deduction, when, and did we know, and how much contact that we've had with yeah, but that doesn't matter, Callum. It's not for this season. 4 million and 5 million for Bruce and Zhao. It's not for that. It's for the season before. It's for the 20. I can't remember where is it. Because it's the season. I think it's 2017-2018 season that we're actually being done for, because our filing shows us selling the ground this year to cover for those financial for that financial period. And you look at how many companies got set up during the whole setting up to sell the ground, and how many suddenly went quiet and gone again. It doesn't scream as good business, let's put it that way. It sounds dodgy. It sounds very dodgy with what we've done. And I'm going to say it now, if we have done something dodgy, we should pay the consequences. And if that means we have to have a fine and a point deduction, so be it. But at the same time, if we've done it and done it this way, why are other clubs not getting caught up in this? That's my issue. That is my big issue. What the hell's on that? Okay, I'm going to take that in. That is my issue. It really is the big issue for me. Is that I don't know if we jumped on the bandwagon of other clubs doing it and not looked into it fully. But it does scream of poor management of the club from Chancery. Chancery has not ran this bit of the club well. But I also feel sorry for Chancery because he's not allowed to spend the money that he got into the club. He can't spend. He's not allowed to. Like, Chancery, I've always said it, Chancery bought this football club at the wrong time. He bought it at the wrong... do you think we'll... Oh yeah, I think we're going to get a point deduction. I think we're going to get either 9 or 12 points deducted. I 100% think we're going to get a point deduction for this. It doesn't scream going in our favour, put it that way. Oh no, I think we're getting point deduction. I think we're going to get a point deduction. I think we're going to get a fine, and I think we're going to be under another transfer embargo. And I'm being deadly serious there. I really think that's what's going to happen in the next thing. Right, the embargo got lifted because we had the embargo got lifted because we hadn't signed players who cost over, the wages went over 12 grand or something like that. We were doing really well with what we were doing. We were actually getting rid of players, and then we were also signing players for not much money. That's why the embargo part of it got lifted. This is another situation we've done. This time goes on to, as what the mafia would call it, fiddling the books. It looks like Wednesday fiddled the book to make out that we made money in one season when we actually hadn't. And Chancery tried to do that to get the so we didn't get another embargo or another point deduction, which we are going to get a point deduction. It will be 9 or 12 points. No. We did get found. It's not going to be only a final embargo. It's not going to be in a final embargo, Callum. This is very similar to what Birmingham did. And Birmingham got a 9 point. Birmingham got 9 points deducted. And bear in mind, the manager at that point at Birmingham was Monk. Could Monk, in theory, leave? Could Monk walk and go, you know what, I'm not doing this shit again. I've done it once, I'm not doing it again. No. Don't think that it's going to be only a fine and embargo. We're getting a point deduction and a fine. And possibly an embargo for next season. I think that's where we could be. And if that's the case, we are massively screwed for next season. I don't see this going good for us. And as much as the club's going to say they're going to fight it vigorously, we've now got to hope everything goes wrong. The EFL don't give a crap about football clubs. And what annoys me with this, they're punishing us for something that is to do with our books, yet teams that don't pay their players don't get nearly much punishment. Teams that don't pay their players get a slap on the wrist at times, but don't get any help. Let's have a look. Let's bring up the EFL on Twitter. Give me a minute. EFL. But it's like this stupid thing. Clubs who come down from the Premier League not only get parachute payment, but can be included into their P&F, preference calculations. They're allowed to lose a larger amount than existing and EFL clubs, and I like to thank Lee Brown on Twitter for that. And that's a fact. If you come down, you can use it can be included in your thingy, and that it screams complete and utter bollocks and bullshit. Everyone, there are so many journalists now who are actually getting sick of this. So if you look at Macclesfield Town, right? Macclesfield Town got done for not paying their players, right? Non-payment was referred to this as failing to pay players payment due. The club were given 14 to prove to sponsor and referred to the power to return sanction if they breach. The EFL has released a minimum payment of 30,000 to go through the season. But this is the problem. Yes, they've released that, but no one... It's getting to the point... Reading still to be investigated. Reading still got it all to come. Reading still have got to be investigated as well. They were in a situation they spent big in this. the thing is, the Birmingham thing, they aggravate it. They just went, fuck it, we're not going to help you. We're not going to do anything. We're going to go from here and we're just going to carry on doing what we're doing. The thing we got, which is thankful in our position, is that we have been very good with the EFL in terms of communication with them. We've always been in really good direct communication with them. When they told us we need to do this, this and this, we've done this, this and this. So this isn't going to end well. No. No level playing... There isn't no level playing field. The problem is, the people who did the parachute payments and said about parachute payment going down into league, into championship, all the clubs that voted on that were Premiership clubs. There were no Championship clubs had a say in that at all. Championship clubs didn't get a say in if the financial parachute payments happened. They did not get a single say in it, and that is outrageous considering the clubs who were in it do not get a chance to have a fair situation. And it's getting to the point where what's the point in having club come down if they're not put to the same standards? They can lose as much money as they like and include their financial parachute payments to offset the case. It's really, really bad. Alex Miller seems certain that we're not guilty indefinitely. Can you send me the link for that, Callum? I'd like to see it if you've got it, mate. You could put a link in the chat. I'd be very interested by that. To be honest, our recruitment strategy is that the Chancery had to take. No, I'm not saying that Chancery, our recruitment strategy has been really, really bad, and Chancery needs to take a bit of the bulk of that, and I think he does. I think Chancery does take a huge bulk of it. I don't think enough fans give him credit for how much crap he takes from it. But at the same time, why is it that some clubs can bend the rule and get nothing, but we got the situation, like we got a situation come next year, we got a massive rebuild doing. Are we going to be allowed to spend money to do that rebuild? Are we going to be hand-strung again? Let me have a look. Callum, can you find that piece of information for me? That is it Alex Miller on Twitter? The Star journalist. So here you go. In the space of 3 months, the EFL has shown they believe that they know better than the High Court with Fortieri. They're now challenging the auditing accounts. Don't believe for 1 second that the auditor would have signed off the account without a solid audit evidence regarding the sale. It really does scream of they got it in for us. Championship club get some Premier money around town, which is a big increase. Yeah, but we get 7 million, but we don't get the amount of money that you get for coming down. Some clubs, it's actually better for them to go up, come down, rebuild again, and go back up again. I hate all this shit. It's so annoying and depressing. To be honest with you, mate, it is annoying and it is depressing, but at the same time, and I'm gonna get a bit of hate for this. I'm going to get a lot of hate for this when I say this. It's a football club. As long as you've got a roof over your head, you've got meal, the amount of meals you can afford each time, and your bills are paid. Yes, it is a pain in the backside that we're having to go through this, but at the same time, there are worse things than this right now in the world and in general. At the minute, the people in Doncaster who are completely flooded out their homes, and some of them don't even have their insurers, have decided to not do to their end of the bargain. Much as I know what you're saying, it is annoying, it is depressing, but there are worse things in the world than our football club being told they broke the rules on this one. Just to put that in perspective there, for people who are freaking out and going mental, just remember football isn't the be-all or end-all of life that some people think it is. There are more important things in the world. And yes, if we did, and I know this can sound really bad, if we did get kicked out of the Football League, I'd be absolutely gutted and we would have to start again. But we would have to start again and go again, and we would. I think 100% we would. But would it then be a fan way doing, or would Chancery do it? It's we updated the order. Kind of thing. You won't get a payment. But $4 million and gave massive wages under. I think that played. Yeah, it did. It did make a big part to them getting their thing. They just flouted the rules. They didn't give a shit. They did not give a shit about the rules. Unlike us, we have constantly always been right. What do we need to do next? Yeah, like Rangers a little bit. And if we had to do that, we'd do it. The club would do it. There'd be a grassroots movement to do it. But I don't see it going that badly. Because from what I hear, we do always seem to keep in very good contact with the EFL about things. And it's more like, and like someone, like the person said on Thingy, I'll give him his thing, Dave Al 1867. Do you really think our accountant would have gone on with that? So it's like, why haven't Reading and Derby been charged for this? Why is it that, you know what I mean? It really screams of no one wants us to get up. It seems like we kind of had the situation. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I read something. It kind of like the situation where you get people. Where do we go from here, Glenn? All we can do is, as a fan base, is support the club. That's all we can do, because we can't get involved with this. This is nothing to do with us as fans. It's the business side of football. It's the side of football that most fans don't know of or don't want to know of. All we go from here is we support the players on the pitch, we support the club, and we see what Chancery can do next. Because like I said, I think it's more than likely going to be a point deduction and a fine, and then go from there, because we've hardly spent anything this season. Let's be honest. Look at what we've brought in. They were all freebies, pretty much. Apart from Longo, where we spent a bit of money but not much. And I think next season you'll see the same kind of player come in. I think we may have to do a Nottingham Forest, where Nottingham Forest had it where they were flirting for a little bit with relegation for a couple of seasons, using kids and having to use kids because they couldn't sign anyone, or using free transfers, and it kind of didn't work. And then they had the 3 years of showing, look, we're making money now, we're not overspending, and then go, right, we can spend again, but not go mental in the spending, spend the right amount. He had made some massive blunders, yes, and it's a little bit like the Manchester United thing. It's not as bad, and I'm not going to go and say it's as bad as it, but he still doesn't understand football well. He still doesn't understand the business side of a football club, and that's where he needs the help. He needs someone in who knows football as a business. He can run it as a business, say, by paying people and stuff, but in terms of transfers, he treats players like normal employees at a club. It's like he doesn't know what the transfer window is. at times. He wants the same amount of money he paid for someone. Hi Declan, yeah, they do love to pick on us. We're the latest people to get picked on again. So it, like I said, it is a strange situation when they find themselves in, because I want to say that everything will be fine. And to be fair, the last couple of times where we've had stuff like this, we've been fine. But also remember, just remember that Chansiri said a couple of seasons ago, I think it was 2 seasons ago, it's not this season I'm worried about, it's the season after, which I think we could have problems with. And I think that was the season he was on about. And that's when he said, I'll put the club up for sale then, which he didn't mean. It was a heat of the moment kind of thing. But he said, it's not the money aspect that worries him. He got all the money in the world. It was more the points that scared him. Who do you blame for this? And the fans are the ones who have to suffer. Chansiri got to take most of the blame, let's be honest. Chansiri got to take the blame for mismanaging and not getting the right people to help him manage the club. The EFL have got to take a bit of the blame for looking at other clubs and what they've done and then not sticking to the principles. Villa did this, they go up, can't touch them now. Derby's done it. It was fine. You shouldn't be able to sell the ground to yourself. Sheffield United technically did it as well, because their ground is owned in a PLC that McCabe owns. McCabe owns the ground is owned by a PLC that McCabe owns, and the problem they've got now is that McCabe wants the print to buy it all, and at the moment he's not doing so, and he got till I think June or July to do so, or he's gonna sue Sheffield United. And DC is the one who's accountable. He didn't get the right people around him. If it was me, what DC should have done when he... Hey Joe, how are you, mate? And you haven't been around for a while. It's been when Chansiri bought the club, right? He should have been the man to chairman as such and go from there, or been owner and then got and said to Milan, I'm going to pay you to be the chairman, because Milan knew football. Milan knew football as a business. That's what should have happened. Or we should have got someone in who knew business, football business, and had them as chairman and had Chansiri as owner. Does that make sense? That's how I would have done it. Some people are blaming Bruce. Bruce can't. Nah, Bruce ain't got nothing to do with it. He wasn't here in that season. The season I think it's second season of Carlos. So it's the fourth era. It's the Rhodes era. It's nothing to do with Bruce. Bruce is a fucking snake, but Bruce had nothing to do with this. This is all Wednesday and Chansiri's own doing to a point. And like Glenn said, sadly, the fans are going to be the one to suffer. Sadly, Monk going to have to figure out how to do this next. I'm actually kind of thankful that this has happened during the international break, so Monk's not bombarded with questions. I think he's going to have a very long sit down with Chansiri and say, what the hell's going on? Is there any way of us to stay positive? I think he should. He's not gonna get any money for it. He will not get the money he wants for Sheffield Wednesday Football Club. Not one bit. Right now, to be honest with you, he's got a lot of broad shoulders and he is very good at taking the abuse. And I think he'll do what he's done in the past and just try and ignore it as much as possible. What he should do now is find someone who knows football, hire them as the chairman, have them run the day-to-day. No, there's no time scale on it, mate. Sadly, so they could have it that come February, March time, and say we're in the playoff, they could decide to put it there. There's no point. There's no time scale. It's just gonna see out how long it takes for it to happen. But who, in seriousness, who gonna buy Sheffield Wednesday Football Club and put as much money in that Chansiri has right now? Are we a buyable asset? Because remember, if you buy Sheffield Wednesday, you're not buying the stadium, because you have to buy that off Chansiri. So that's another 60 million there that he's gonna want. He's gonna want 60 million for the stadium that he spent. He's gonna want 40 plus million for the club. So if you think about it, that's what. If the things are right, he put 100 million into the club in one way or another, clearing debt and stuff like that. Plus the 60 million. In theory, he'll want 160 million for the club. Now, we all know Sheffield Wednesday Football Club is not worth 160 million. I can't even see someone coming in and giving him 50 million and 10 million more than what he paid for it. Kind of thing. This is the problem. We've got an owner that doesn't want to sell anyway, because if he sells, he will see it as one of the biggest failures he's had in his life. And the Thai people are very, very proud people. They are not ones for taking things like this well. I know the LFA have. I said that, Callum. I said there's no time scale. I don't know, Glenn. I can't answer that as a Wednesday fan. I can't answer that as a Wednesday fan, because for me, Sheffield Wednesday Football Club, it's my football club, and it's kind of one of those things. It's for us as fans, it's kind of priceless. It's our club we love, so we're not the ones having to buy it. I don't know what Sheffield Wednesday Football Club is worth. Hang on, let me have a look. There might be something on transfer thingy. Let's have a look. Seriously, let's just have a look. And transfer market are pretty normally bang on with how much they get it. So let's have a look. Current transfer record, information, stadium, history, news, overall. I wouldn't say it's worth a lot though, if I'm honest. Because the Chansiri family itself are worth 4.2 billion, and they're probably going to have 8 billion come 2020. So they are rich. They are very rich, but it this whole thing, I don't know how much we're worth in terms of a club, if I'm honest. So the problem is, the time when we bought the stadium was this year, which was helping us record a pre-traffic law for 2017-2018 season. That's where the whole situation is part of. We actually we got bought for 30 million. Sorry, not 40 million. I thought we got bought for 40. Don't know why. Let me have a look. Oh God, notice cam motion. Show. Let me show this. Show this. Let me have a look here. If we do get a point to, will the figures stand? Will we can move forward based on us making profit? We could still move forward in term for next season. Yes, next season we might be able to move forward, but it's like I say, it's an interesting one. Chansiri shouldn't have backed Stuart Gray as Milan told him. Instead, he brought a fucking clown in from Portugal who spent millions on players and couldn't deliver the gloves. Let's be fair there, Jim. We were very, very close. And to be fair, we should have backed Stuart Gray, to be fair. But at that point, that's where Milan should have stayed on a chairman kind of thing and done it that way. This is the problem. Or if he sells it in the wrong season, the following season probably even have the players left. We should have a higher wage. Our wages should be better next season anyway because we'll lose a lot. No, Chansiri has a lot of money. He has brains, he just doesn't have a footballing brain, like DJ said. He's a very smart man. Do not underestimate that this man isn't smart. He's smart. Kind of thing. Oh shit, what the hell? Give me a minute. Oh, lost the light then. I apologise. The point deduction doesn't mean a relegation battle as such. It will put us in a relegation battle, but at the rate we're getting points, it'll put us about 15th. I saw somewhere that said that it'll be about 15th place if we keep going on the points we're getting per game at the moment. So it's not great, but I can't see it being a relegation battle, if that makes sense. And it all depends on when they give us the point deduction. I said at the start of the season, we needed to get as many points as humanly possible. We needed to get as many points as humanly possible to avoid this. And sadly, I've been proven right. I hope Monk knew about this. I hope DC didn't sly with him like it happened to be Monk last time. I don't think he will have been sly with it. I think he will have told him that. But the problem is, you've got the thingy, Callum. When Monk came in, I don't think we were getting investigated yet. I don't think anyone was looking into it yet. The person... I think the team will lose all faith altogether. I don't think the team will. I think what will happen is... Because you've got to remember, Glenn, the team's still getting paid. The team will only lose faith when they're not getting paid. Kind of thing. And as sad as that sounds, most teams and players only think about their back pocket. Let me just check the camera battery life. Because I will have to stop some because it's raining. Getting ridiculous. Oh, we're fine. We're on 54 minutes. I could go for a bit longer. That battery life got better. It was late, which is nice. I think the biggest issue you've got, and it's going to be a big one for me, is it's going to be fans not getting on the back of Chansiri and calling for him to go, because I can't see him going, but I don't want to tempt faith. Kind of thing. Where is that coming from? Just give me a moment. Yeah. Yeah, I've done it on all my iPads. I think where you're going to see it. Let's have a look. What do you think of Reach? Because I've been crap this season. I've not liked Reach this season. Reach have been very, very poor. He seemed a bit uninterested. Reach this season have been really, really poor this season. Murphy could be good, but Murphy got the same thing. I think Reach actually benefited from Lukai being there. Glenn, you don't have to be Chansiri's bigger fan. At the end of the day, that's your opinion. I think a lot of fans have the thing is that we owe Chansiri a great debt because he bought the club when no one else was going to buy us as well. But who else could Milan got in theory to take us over? Let's be honest, this was the deal that Milan saw it was good enough, and it's not worked yet. And at the end of the day, your opinion is you're not Chansiri's bigger fan. I put it to you now then, who takes over Sheffield Wednesday Football Club? Because right now we are not a prize asset. At this moment in time, we are not someone. If you were looking to buy a club and going, I'll make my name with that club there, you're not going to think Sheffield Wednesday. You're going to look at the other Sheffield team. You're going to look at Sheffield United because they're in the Premiership. You can get more money, marketing wise, and brand deals, and being a Premiership team is all that kind of thing. You look at Sheffield Wednesday Football Club. Who would buy it at the moment? Not Chancellor thought if he wouldn't have sold today, knowing our losses, we would have been at Bell for losses. We wouldn't have been at Bell for losses, but we would have started with a point deduction. We would more than likely been point deducted straight away, and started with -9 plus a fine. And the thing that gets me about this whole kind of situation, you must do this or we will expel you from the. See how many season tickets in next season. I'm not, Glenn. I'm not saying that it's not going to affect the situation. He's priced games wrong. He priced season tickets wrong. He priced shirts wrong. I'm not saying that. Like I keep saying, he's not a footballing person. He's a businessman who got into a football team. It's similar to what you got at Manchester United. The people that own them are businessmen. They're not footballing businessmen. And that's what he needs. He could actually do with hiring people off the pitch who know football and doing it that way. That's why at one point we kind of all thought that committee might have worked. The Glenn Roeder committee. That was an interesting way of going. He had this whole thing where he wants last and final say on players. Kind of thing. I can't believe for 1 minute DC would not have done this knowing the possibilities could come back and smack him. Yeah, I think he'd been ill-advised. I think he'd been massively ill-advised and it's gone wrong. Mandarin made the wrong decision to sell to him. Okay then, I'm going to put it to you then, Glenn. Would you rather Milan Mandaric sold us to someone like the Bury owner? Would you rather Milan Mandaric sold us to someone like Bolton's owners who just kept on stripping assets of the club? Would you rather Milan sold us to someone like Mike Ashley? Fuzzing Bromley next season, fuzzing later. I don't think it's going to get that bad. And by the way, you're saying Bromley for next season, fuzzing League 2. If we got it expelled, it wouldn't be in League 2. We would have to start again. We would have to start a brand new club, I think. He's not, like I said, he's not a football man. But but at the same time, he's not a football man. But he is a businessman. Like CJ has just said, he knows, he absolutely knows that his accounting got to be right or you'll get in trouble. Kind of thing. And I don't think knowingly he would have put the accounts in wrong. I don't think that. Yeah, the Land of File guy, he was investigated. He really was. It won't be a 30-point deduction. Don't be stupid. The minimum they can deduct you is 12. It won't be a 30-point deduction. It won't be that bad. Kind of thing. Minimum I think it'll be 12 to 15. And to be fair, it might happen, it might not. At the minute we don't know. I don't Footsy, where have you got your information to be that you think it'll be a 30-point deduction? I'm being generally serious here. Where's your information to say you think it's a 30-point deduction? That's what I want to find out. Off you, hang on a minute. Why did the EFL let stuff get to this position? Of course they should be the owners of each club holding, but surely the EFL should be jointly involved in fines and deductions. Hang on, so let me just check something here. So after season, it will probably mean that Sheffield will end up in court with Sheffield City Council. Could be busy for 2020. Give me a minute. Let me just check something. Oh wait, I didn't realise football was on. Shit. Oh well. And if people are actually looking at the whole Derby situation, the thing where Derby had was they put their accounts in at the right time. And this is the other thing you've got to remember. Thank you, pal. I appreciate it. That's 0809. That wasn't in thingy wasn't in place then. I know you're saying that, but it wasn't in place back in 0809. You could have spent anything back then. Different times. I think the scary thing we have is that could Chancery go, right, this project don't work, I'm off, I'm done, and throw the towel in? I doubt it, he's too much of a proud man. Could we have the issue that we have to have a couple of seasons of mediocre, not doing great, and go from there? That's a possibility. Let's have a look. Could end up with Chester owner who sold out and pocketed. Yeah, that exactly, DJ. You're taking the words out of my mouth. It's still going to ruin the season and future seasons. You can't. No, but Glenn, you said to me, I wish Chancery hadn't sold it to Chancery. I gave you an example of people who could have bought Wendy. Your words were, well, Mandarin made the wrong decision to sell to him. Well, Mandarin didn't have that issue. Mandarin just wanted 40 million. Well, 30 million. At the end of the day, he could have sold it to a lot worse people than Chancery. A lot worse people. I think a lot of people are also forgetting the good times we've had under Chancery. How he gave us a bit of belief. How he given the club a bit of a better image at times when it comes to certain things. It's an interesting one, but I get what you're saying, but I would give you an example of people he could have sold to. What people need to understand is that we are going, if we are doing this when he being ill-advised and challenged players, imagine how good we will be when he truly learned the game. He won't go. Exactly, Joe got it in one. Once he learned the game and get the right people around him, we could be a lot better. Granted, I think we could be betterly run than we are now. So, if you say, where is it? And Derby gets their arse licked, yeah, they do. If it's a 30-point deduction, which I highly doubt, surely we'll be able to contest it being so much. Exactly, very true. Not everyone's of the same opinion. I understand what you're saying, Glenn, but there's a lot of fans that don't like Chancery. There's a lot of fans that don't like what he's done and how he's run the club and don't want him at the club and don't want to see him here and want him to sell up. So my question to those fans, have you got 100 million to put into the club? Have you got the money to go and buy a football club? I didn't think so. So, unless you're going to put up and shut up and show that you've got money to buy the club off him, he's here. At the end of the day, he's our owner. There's nothing we can do about it. We could do what Newcastle tried to do, boycott games and try and get Mike Ashley out. They've been trying to get Mike Ashley out for years. He's still there. He still might have had the opportunity to sell up in January. But every time he goes to sell up, no one has it. Yeah, I do. Alright, you buy it, Joe. Yes! we have to grin and bear it. We have no other choice. The only way, if you don't want Chansiri to be at the club, don't go to games. Boycott the game. Don't buy a season ticket. Don't buy a Wednesday shirt. If you don't want Chansiri at the club, that's your right to get him out of the club. Is that what you want to do? That's the only way he'll realise that it's not working and go. Because he won't be making any money. He's not making any money. You think Sheffield Wednesday is making money for him? A football club always runs at a loss. I hate to see how much money he's losing on the football club, considering to his other businesses. I would hate to see those figures. They're figures I do not want to see. For the time being, we have to grin and bear it. Chansiri have been badly advised. If we can get something to go in and help him, advise him a little bit better, great. But we have to grin and bear it. What else can you not do, Glenn? Think if we get deducted, I don't know. All depends. Monk's situation with Birmingham with nothing to do with the point deduction. Monk's situation at Birmingham, he fell out over transfers. He fell out of what they wanted the team to do. I don't think he'd walk. And to be fair, if he did walk right now, it wouldn't look good for him, in a sense. It wouldn't look good for him because he'd had 3 clubs where he's had situations be different. I think Monk will carry on. Because, let's be honest, by the sound of it, it don't sound like many people are looking at Monk for certain jobs. I think Monk will stay and he'll stay and steady the ship. My issue is probably... When will there be a positive outcome? It's like a sinking of the Titanic. We have hit a big iceberg. No idea when the positive come, but my question to you is, first 2 seasons of Chansiri, everyone was very positive about him. 3rd season, you don't know where the positives are going to come from. Right now, we can only, like I said earlier, all we can do as fans is support the players, support the club, and see what happens. That's all we have to do. We've been in similar positions before, where we nearly went out the league, and we had to support the players and the fans and the club then. And back then we hated bloody Dave Allen. We couldn't stand Dave Allen, but we managed to get Dave just. The problem is, people will not put their money in football clubs these days unless they're higher up the league. And so far, nothing come of it. All we know is that we've been charged. There's no decision on what the outcome's going to be yet. The club are going to fight it, and believe me, with all the money Chansiri got, I'm going to guarantee you're going to use some damn good lawyers for this. And whenever we've spoken to the EFL, we've done alright with getting on with them. We've done what they said when it came to the embargoes. We've done well there. We've spoke to them, we've done this. Like I said, it will be very interesting to see what the outcome of this is. It's very poor for us as fans to have to go through this and something like this again. But at the same time, it is what it is. We know that there's something there now. I think one of the things that I will say that's been poor on the club is communication-wise. Their communication about things like this have been poor, and they've been poor like that under. I'm saying you have to look at what he's done in previous seasons because you've gone. When will there be a positive outcome? There was a positive outcome at the start of it, and yes, I know you don't want to look in the past. The past is the past, and you have to look to the present and the future. But what I'm saying is, Glenn, Glenn, how can I put this without... It has declined a little bit, yes. But at the same time, you have a vendetta against Chansiri. You obviously do. Right? I understand that. But who gonna buy Sheffield Wednesday Football Club? I'm being deadly serious here. Who gonna buy us? We're not a Manchester United. We're not a Chelsea. We're not a Real Madrid. We're not a Barcelona. We're a Sheffield club, and not even the best Sheffield club now, that are struggling at times in the Championship to score goals. We've had a couple of times to try and get out the league and not been able to do it due to whatever reason. I'm not saying that under Chansiri there hasn't been problems, because there have. If Chansiri was great, we wouldn't have had embargo after embargo after embargo. He's made mistakes. He's also human. He's also someone only... I think he's had the club 5-6 years now. He's still learning the game. What I'm trying to tell you is, where the hell do we go from here in terms of owner and in that kind of sense? And I know what you're saying, but who's going to buy us? There is not people lining up to buy this club. Who's going to buy us who could possibly pass the fit and proper mean tested? I understand that you're frustrated. I understand that you're angry. I understand you hate Chansiri. You don't like him. But what else can other fans do apart from, if you're not happy with him, boycott the games? If you're not happy with Chansiri and you don't want him to have any more of your money, you boycott the games. That is the simple answer. We nearly had the Land of Fire bloke who was really dodgy. Like, really dodgy. He didn't have the money. Chansiri's family has the money. The problem is he needs a footballing person in the club to help him. And if say another 2 seasons or so, he still doesn't get that, I will be saying you haven't learned and you haven't got in what you need. I think he's trying to get in what he needs, and I think the problem is he's very stubborn at times, and that's one of the issues he got. He needs to be less stubborn. But I can't keep going over the same thing, because I am doing. At the end of the day, you find me someone who wants to buy Sheffield Wednesday Football Club, and then we'll talk. I'm being deadly serious that you find someone to buy Sheffield Wednesday Football Club off Chansiri for the money Chansiri wants. Look at how Chansiri's wanted top money for players. Do you think he's going to be that good when it comes to selling the club, if he ever gets to that point? Without Chansiri, we wouldn't have been able to go to the playoffs twice and do that, because I don't see many other people putting in the money. That's your prerogative, Callum. I'm going to keep backing him and watching games, but if people don't want him in, the only way someone will not want to stay at the club is if he knows he's not getting the money in. And to be fair, I don't know how much of a loss Sheffield Wednesday is making. It crap commercially. It crap when it comes to what's the word? Sponsorship. I didn't say Chansiri is such a god. Where did I say that? Glenn, where did I say that? I didn't say Chansiri was a god. I said Chansiri is human. There's a difference. You have to first fail before you find success. We overachieved in the first 2 seasons with Karloff, but that was down to Karloff management. But he lost it. Be patient. It will come. That's the thing. You have to be patient with this. And the problem is football fans are not patient. And thank you for that, DJ. Glenn, I didn't say Chansiri was a god. I said he was a human being. And human beings, funnily enough, we make mistakes. Could you take a football club, a business you've never run before, and get it right first time? I'm getting kind of frustrated with your things. Glenn, because you're a really good bloke and I like it and I've met you before and you're a cool dude, but on this one, I'm just going to turn around and say Chansiri is doing the best he can with what he's doing at the minute. He could do a hell of a lot better and he could have got us out of the financial fair play and stuff, and he could have run the football club as a football club and not a business. If he can get the business side and the football club like that, it might come and it will come. But we're going to have to be patient. It's not going to work straight away. The problem Chansiri had, he was over ambitious by saying he wants us in the Premiership by our 150th anniversary. He should never have said that. He should have said, we are looking to get the club in the Premiership like every other club is doing in the Championship, but that will be a hard task to do because the Championship is a very competitive league. That's what he should have said. But there is nowhere I said Chansiri is a god. You put words in my mouth this time. Right, I've been going for an hour and 11 minutes. It's another hour stream like the one from last night. Thank you everyone for coming. I respect everyone's thoughts and opinions on this. I really do. We all have our own opinions. I got the whole thing that I think Chansiri... Why is that thing not an iPad accessory when it is? You stupid thing. If Chansiri did sell up, I think some people wouldn't blame him. No, you don't need to apologise. You don't need to apologise. You're entitled to your opinions, as are you. And it's frustrating being a Wednesday fan. And I understand what you're saying. I'm frustrated. We're all frustrated. For Christ's sake, it's the 14th of November at 8:54. It's raining outside, as you can hear. I've got a building that's leaking and I'm doing a live stream about my football club. At the end of the day, I understand what you're saying. It's frustrating and I get what you're saying, but my point of view is that I don't see who else comes in. But thank you for watching for tonight, guys. I may do another stream tomorrow. I do like doing these. I get a little bit aggravated, and as you can tell, I need to start drinking more though because my voice has gone. Like I said, I appreciate everyone's opinions and everyone's got one. They're like arseholes. And on this channel, I respect everyone's opinions. This channel is for fans. This channel is not one of these channels where I'm close to the club and I'll just say what they say and lick their arses. I won't. This is for us fans. I do this because I'm a fan. I do this because you're fans. And we have to be patient. But the problem is, football fans are not patient. We are not the world's most patient people in the world of football fans. And whether we like it or not, we broke the rules somewhere. And if that's the case, we have to put our hands up and say, okay, we broke the rules. Give us what punishment comes may, and we won't do it. We'll try and not do it again, or we won't do it again, especially with this one. But we can't do anything as fans. Life more important. Sorry when I said Chancellor of God. I know you didn't say that. I've just been asked. It's fine, Glenn. It's fine. At the end of the day, like you said, we can't do anything to fans, and life is more important. As long as everybody in this live stream have got a roof over their head, they're safe, they're healthy, they're getting 3 square meals a day, they can pay the bills, and their mental health is fine. That's what all that matters for everyone. That's all that should matter to anyone in this live stream. At the end of the day, we as fans have our opinions. It's just a football club. But there are people out there who, like I said earlier, in Doncaster, they've lost their home due to flooding and have nowhere to live right now. There are people dying of certain diseases. There are people struggling just to get by in life. At the end of the day, as long as everyone in this live stream is healthy, got a roof over their head, okay mentally and get there and eat and everything like that fine, that's all that should matter. Football is football. Football will come and go. Football is not the be all end all in life. So on that last little poetic bit, I'm going to end it. I want to thank you all for coming and watching and joining in. I apologise if I got a bit heated tonight. And Glenn, it's great though, buddy, because it brings out the best in me, it brings out the best in you. Thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.